Hello student, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. I am also fine. As you all know that coronavirus is increasing rapidly. So be at home, be safe, take all the precautions. Don't touch anything unnecessarily. If you are touching, then please sanitize yourself. Okay. So today we will learn about, in our previous classes, what we have learned in this chapter. This is the second part of the fiber to fabric chapter. So in this chapter previously we have learned about the wool. Okay, so today we will learn about silk. Silk is what? I told you these all are animal fiber, right? So wool and silk, these all are animal fibers. So today we will learn about silk. Silk fiber is also a type of animal fiber. So what it is? It is also a type of animal fiber, and it is made of thread-like filament. So first of all, let me tell you about the silk. What is silk? We wear the silk saree, especially our mother will wear the silk saree. It's so expensive. If it is a pure silk, it's so expensive, right? And it looks so nice. We love to say that this is of silk, right? So silk is what? Silk is a filament, is a fiber, is a thread-like filament obtained from the cocoon of the silkworm. From where it obtained? It's obtained from an animal, silkworm. Okay, the cocoon of the silkworm. The rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. Now, what is sericulture? What is sericulture? Sericulture is rearing of silk. Rearing of silk for obtaining silk. Rearing of silkworm. So rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is known as sericulture. Okay, rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is known as sericulture. Keep it in mind. Now, silk is a good insulator. It is a very good insulator. So it keeps you warm in the winter. So we wear silk in the winter only. In summer also we wear, but in winter especially. Now, the life cycle of silk moth. So we know about that. We get the silk from the silkworm, and we love to wear silk sarees and all. Silk, the rearing of the silkworm is known as the sericulture. We all know, we have learnt about this, but now we will learn about how the silk moth produces, how it develops into silk. Okay, so life cycle of a silk moth. So silk moth is an insect. The female silk moth lays eggs. The female silk moth is an insect, so it lays eggs. When the eggs hatch, we all know when the baby inside the eggs develop or mature, it hatched. Okay, it's hatched. Larva called caterpillar or silkworm crawl out. So larva, which is known as caterpillar, right? Larva, which is known as caterpillar, or we can say the silkworm, is hatch out or crawl out. Okay, these feed on leaves and grow. So which leaves? Especially mulberry leaves. Okay, they feed on leaves and grow. Which leaves? Mulberry, especially mulberry leaves. Other leaves are also there, but especially mulberry leaves. When the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of life cycle, the caterpillar, the worms, the small worms, when it ready to enter the next stage of life cycle, it weaves a net to hold itself. What it does? It weaves a net to hold itself. Okay, this stage of larva is called pupa. This is known as the pupa when they weaves a net. Okay, and how they weaves the net? It weaves the net. It swings its head from side to side like 8. Okay, it swings its head from side to side like 8. Okay, from 8, and secretes a fiber made of protein. The secretes a fiber which is of protein. Okay, especially they secretes protein. They secretes protein for that develops into a silk. Okay, so this secretes fiber made of protein which hardens on the exposure of air. So when it exposed to the air, when that protein exposed to the air, it hardens, and this is what we call silk. Okay, so that protein or the filament which secretes by the silkworm is then turned into silk. Okay, this harden, when they harden on exposure to air, it turns into silk. Okay, this is the silk. So the caterpillar covers itself completely by silk fibers. The caterpillar, that worms, covers itself completely with the silk fiber and turns into pupa. Okay, this hard covering is known as the cocoon. and especially we get silk from the cocoon only, right? So the further development of moth takes place inside the cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the moth develops, and when it matures, after a weeks, cocoon open up. After weeks, this open up, and the moth come out. The silk moth, that is the silkworm, that comes out. Okay. I hope you are clear with it. Okay. Now, next, see, this is the life cycle. What I told, this is the, for example, this is the mulberry leaves, okay, and there are so many eggs. There is the mulberry leaves, and this is the eggs. These are the eggs, okay. These are the eggs. When the eggs hatched, what happened? Caterpillars, larva. This is the larva, which is known as the caterpillar. Okay, this is the larva, which is known as the caterpillar. Comes out. Caterpillars develop into pupa, and then caterpillar swing his head to secrete protein. That proteins, the pupa that covers that proteins and develops into cocoon, and cocoons then when the cocoons after the maturation of cocoons, the adult moth, that is a silkworm, comes out. Okay, come out. Now the silk yarn is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. As we all know that the silk yarn, that is the thread, the filament, is obtained from the cocoon of the silk. The different types of silk with a different texture, that is coarse, smooth, shiny, etc., are obtained from the different varieties of silk moth. So different types of different texture of silk. So we all know that there is a pure silk, there is a shiny one, there is smooth one, coarse one are there. So these all are obtained for the different type of silk. Okay, so for example, Tushar silk, Muga silk and Kosa silk are obtained from the cocoons of different varieties of silk moth. Okay, the most common silk moth is mulberry silk. The most common is what? Mulberry silk, which I told you that grows and feed on mulberry leaves on mulberry tree, right? The silk fiber obtained from the mulberry silk moth is of very good quality. What I told you, that it is of very good quality, and it's a very shiny, lustrous and elastic. Okay, it can be dyed in beautiful colors as well. So especially from the very first when I'm teaching you in the Google Meet classes as well, I told you that mulberry leaves is very important for the growing of silkworm, because silkworm grows and feed on the mulberry leaves only, and these silkworms are very shiny, lustrous and of very good quality. Okay. Now there is an activity you need to do. What is the activity? Okay, what is that activity? Take a sample of synthetic silk and pure silk. Ask your mother. I hope your mother has that silk sari. So ask her for synthetic silk and pure silk. Okay, and pull out the thread from the edge of the sari. From the edge of the sari, you can pull out the thread and burn it. Okay, when you will burn, you will observe the different smell. Okay, while burning, and you can check it with the woolen fiber. Okay, when you will burn the woolen fiber, then also you will experience that smell. Okay. Now, rearing of silk. How we rear the silk? I told you the rearing means what? Rearing means what? For obtaining the silk, they keep the silk. And rearing of silkworm. Now we will learn about the rearing of silkworm. To obtain silk moth are reared, and their cocoons are made to get silk thread. Are used to get silk thread. To obtain the silk moth is reared, and their cocoons are used to get the silk thread. A female silk moth lays 100 of eggs at a time. Okay, a female silk moth eggs. Excuse me, class. See, a female silk moth lays 100 of eggs at a time, and these eggs kept under the hygienic and humidity control condition, where they kept in a hygienic and humidity control conditions. Then eggs are warmed up to a temperature suitable for hatching. For hatching the egg, most of the eggs need to warm. So the eggs are warmed up in a suitable temperature for hatching. This is called incubation. This is called what? This is called incubation. Now what is incubation? For hatching the eggs are need to warm up to a temperature, up to a suitable temperature, are known as incubation. After hatching, the larva called caterpillar, I told you the caterpillar, these are the caterpillars, see these are the caterpillar, these are the caterpillar, okay. The larva called caterpillar eat freshly chopped mulberry leaves. What they eat? They eat freshly chopped mulberry leaves. These are the mulberry leaves, okay. And after 5 to 6 weeks, they grow up to enough start spinning cocoons. So after 5 to 6 weeks, they grown up to pupa, okay. So where they start spinning cocoons, okay. Branches of trees and shrubs are placed, wait, okay, see, branches of trees and shrubs are placed in trays to which cocoon get attached. So the cocoons are the branches of trees and shrubs are placed in trays to which cocoons get attached, and the caterpillar spin cocoons out of the continuous thread. What happens then? Caterpillars spin cocoons out of one continuous thread and take about 8 days to complete it, and this process is called spinning of the cocoon, okay. This process is called spinning of the cocoon. Now see, processing silk. Now how silk obtained from cocoon? So the first step in processing silk is to kill the worms inside the cocoon. What I told you, that inside the cocoons there is worm, silk moth, right? So they need to be killed, okay. So for this, cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed to steam or treated in an oven, right? So how they kill? They kill the worms by boiling it, exposed to the sun or steam or treated in an oven. The silk fibers separate out, then the silk fiber are separate out from this, and the process of obtaining silk from the cocoon is called reeling. So what is reeling? What is reeling? The process of obtaining silk from the cocoon is known reeling, okay. The cocoon is first boiled in water, and then the cocoon is first boiled in water and dissolve the gummy substances of cocoon. Cocoon has some gummy substances which dissolve in water when they boiled, okay. So after this, the filament for 4 to 8 cocoons are reeled by a special machine. After the boiling, what happened? After this, after the dissolve of the gummy substances of cocoon, the filament for 4 to 8 cocoons are reeled by a special machine. There is a special machine from where the filament are reeled out, and it unwinds the thread or fibers of silk from the cocoon. What that machine does? That unwind the thread or fibers, that thread or the fibers, that is the silk, from the cocoon. The thread obtained is called raw silk. That is the raw silk, okay, and it is woven into silk cloth by weavers. So after that, what happened? The raw silk is woven into silk cloth by the weavers, okay. Now see, there are some diseases as well. So this is the question answer which I explained in the Google Meet class as well, and you can do by yourself only. This is very easy, okay. Do it and send it to me in WhatsApp, okay. Now disease related to wool and silk. There are some diseases also related to wool and silk, okay. So workers working in wool and sericulture industry are affected by number of diseases. They are, so worker, those who are working in wool industry and sericulture industry means where the silk are reared, okay. So rearing of silk is sericulture. So in that industry are affected by number of diseases. And what are the diseases? First is sorter disease. So in wool industry, sometimes sorters what? They separate, who separate the wool according to the texture and the color. So they sometimes sorters get infected by a bacterium called anthrax, which causes a fatty blood disease called sorter disease, okay. Next one is respiratory disease. So respiratory disease is what? Inhalation of vapor arising from cocoons. We steam the cocoons, right, to kill the worms. We steam the cocoons to kill the worms. The vapor which arising from that cocoons is cause breathing problem, that is asthma and other bronchial ailments, okay. So this chapter up to here. So in this chapter in silk, what we have learned: the rearing of silk, the life cycle of silk, how we get silk from the cocoon, and the disease related to wool and silk, okay. There are some multiple question answer and all, so you need to do it with your own self. If you it's very easy, you can do it, otherwise I will help you, don't worry about that. So revise this topic, revise this chapter. If there is any doubt, do ask me in my WhatsApp. Thank you so much for this much today. Please be safe. Once again, I'm telling you, be safe, be at home, and learn this topic. Once again, please follow all the protocols. Don't go out unnecessary. Don't touch anything unnecessary. Thank you so much for today.